Hello, everybody. I do not know how to start.
Yeah, I do not
But
know. I do not know either. I have never done
uh,
a commentary track. Um, that's what this is, a commentary track for the episode that is not a fight, but some people thought was, which is interesting.
yeah. Should I turn the volume down? Uh,
Yeah, probably turn it down.
bro.
So yeah, this was my first episode, and legally, I
It's my
think
first episode
legally
too.
this counts as Biff Weed's first episode as well, according to his
Yeah, I
contract.
don't like either of my actual first two, so I'm just going to pretend like
Yep.
this was my first.
And yeah, this is yeah, this is Garou versus Stain. I've
It was
already
the most
run.
fun I've ever had working on a project. It was honestly really fun to do.
It was a lot of fun
Uh,
too. I've already run out of things to say because the scenario is not giving me it. I guess the most interesting thing about the scenario is that the idea I had was that whenever I read a scenario, I would try to do like a different voice for it. And that's kind of what I've done.
yeah, you did a different one for Ruby versus
Yeah,
Konosuba. Oh, here
which
we go. The intro that Ribbit has ingrained into my memory.
yes,
Apparently, that broke Ribbit on their first viewing.
I remember
Uh,
when you first dropped it, and just like in the server, Ribbit was like, "It's me." And just that was the only thing they had to say from the start.
yeah. This is apparently Brandon's favorite bit, where the least horny host out of the entire team, is the first to make a horny comment on this show. Um, but I remember Garou versus Stain was actually not the original episode that we wanted
No,
to do
it
together,
wasn't.
because for a while, like, One Punch Man is my favorite series, and My Hero is a series we both also really like.
You're acting as if like
And
One Punch Man's not a series that I really like, as if one of the
that's
four,
true, but it's not your
one of,
number one now,
as
is
if
it?
one of the four primary mascot characters on my channel is not a piss take of Saitama. You know, you're acting like One Punch Man just doesn't exist now. They think they're quite
He doesn't
offensive, sir.
anymore. I've retconned him, but I remember we had, like, when we decided we wanted to do a Galaxy Grudge match together. My Hero versus One Punch Man, we kind of gathered that those were the two series we wanted to match against each other. And I think originally it was going to be Genos versus Deku.
Yeah, because the whole
Yeah.
angle of like you know, they're the successor, not really successor, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, and
student.
Genos would have to enroll at UA, become All Might's disciple, and Deku would have to be training under Saitama.
Yeah.
But then the issue kind of arose there that, wait a minute, Saitama wouldn't give a shit about this little kid. He only kept Genos around because he could pay the bill.
Yeah,
And also, just like, I love My Hero, but Deku, at least at the time, far from my favorite character in it.
yeah. I liked Deku, but like as time went on, I liked him less because like you know the most interesting part about his character, which is the risk reward element of his powers, sort of vanished midway through the second season, which you know.
I mean, I like it. I like what they're doing with him currently in the manga. Which,
Yeah.
speaking of which, the reason Garou versus Stain wasn't really our first go-to is because the One Punch Man anime is my kind of area of expertise. I wasn't fully caught up with the manga and webcomic at the time, but then deciding on Garou meant I got to look into that more, and I discovered just like probably my favorite part of the entire series is when a king and Atomic Samurai
God.
end up having their fight, and King just like walks away. Like Atomic Samurai makes him cut an apple. King walks away without even like unsheathing the sword, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's figured me out. He's figured out I'm a fraud." And Atomic Samurai's just in there in complete disbelief. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to redo my entire training. This guy cut the apple so fast, I didn't even see him do it, and the apple didn't even realize it was cut." It's just it's so funny.
It's just that
But,
is some logic. Oh my
like,
god.
I love how King can just get away with whatever.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I remember that when I was editing that little gif of me at the start took like an hour to get right because the sprites kept moving, and it was definitely not worth it.
yeah, this is also you got Katie to draw your Stain avatar,
Oh yeah,
which is it just furthers the curse of like I cannot draw. I'm not an artist.
you are better than me though.
And
Trust me.
both of my first two episodes to have the little avatars, I got put against Ribbit, and you had Kitty drawing for you, so I got like two people with really professional looking art styles next to my shitty little doodles. Like
Oh my god! I remember
just,
I rendered out hot dog, and I that was a transcendent experience, rendering out a little black and white hot dog. Man, oh
yeah, he's such a quirky little fellow.
oh god, yeah.
I guess we could also talk about what Garou versus Stain was before the scenario was decided upon, because the scenario we had like a long discussion about what the scenario would be.
I don't think it was either of us that actually came up with the final scenario, though, was it?
I had the general idea behind the final one, and you helped like iron it out. I remember that.
Oh right,
much.
yeah.
Max, I remember, was also tried to help us out. He was dead set on an Incredibles related scenario. He really wanted good old Robert Parr to be in there somewhere. He
And
wanted like
you can tell because of the music at the start.
yeah, which I think that's the one music choice I thought was a bit weird. Like that upbeat heroic music really doesn't fit either of these two. But,
No.
I remember the first scenario idea that Max gave us was like, well, what if they both had to become the Screenslaver from Incredibles 2? Which
Could you imagine either of them like
I don't
sitting
understand
down?
that one.
Could you just imagine though either of them like sitting down like typing away at a computer like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do a little code there, you know, see how this goes.
And then it became like, okay, but what if they had to hunt down a hero or a group of heroes? So my first suggestion there was Spider-Man. The problem arose there though that Spider-Man would fucking lay Stain out in a single punch, and
Yeah.
Garou would take him out very, very easily.
I remember I got Green Lantern into the episode.
It's the funny.
There's
It's the funny
the line that is the line I see most quoted from this episode.
I don't know why. Just that's the one Brandon's latched onto.
I'm
but
pretty
it's,
sure
it's fine.
it's just the way I said it. I imagine he's not gonna discipline Garou.
But after Spider-Man was taken out of the equation, I remember Max also suggested the Fantastic Four, the Incredibles, and of course the Screenslaver again. I don't know why the Screenslaver was such a prominent part of the discussion, but I guess he just was.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting them to fight the Fantastic Four as if like Invisible
Because
Woman
Ben Grimm
isn't.
wouldn't just clap them both
Well, no,
immediately.
Invisible Woman is like the strongest of the Fantastic Four officially, and Ben Grimm is a Savage Hulk tier, and Human Torch can like take out a solar system by just getting really hot. So
I mean, Mr. Fantastic, he's kind of already been transported to another dimension.
yeah,
He's
he also
got a big
caught
Jake
caught a
there.
planet-busting meteor with his bare hands. Basically, the Stretch
Okay, so
Armstrong
they
thing.
can't even beat Mr.
can't
Fantastic.
even-
Lovely.
Especially because like it's not like a direct like it. Mr. Fantastic is going to have prep time because they have to get to him, and at that point he just pulls out the ultimate nullifier and like wipes out pretty much every anime that's ever existed in one shot.
Oh my
So-
god.
Like he's literally the biggest problem for them.
I also remember the final of the beta scenarios that I remember is that I brought up, what if they were the ones being hunted and they had to like survive the longest, but then we ran into the complication of, wait, no, they would both just confront their killers or their hunters, so it would just come down to whoever could beat whoever we've chosen in a fight.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest issues with the ideas that we were thinking of is that any of the ones that resolved around fighting inevitably came into the issue of their stats are so far apart that if anything is a threat to Garou, then Stain literally has no chance. And if anything is, but yeah, I mean that's the problem. If it's fair against Stain, then Garou just murks, and that is a problem that would be faced.
Which, I think I'm glad this is one of the scenarios where we didn't have to equalize stats.
Yeah,
Because like a lot of the ones nowadays, usually they have to have their stats equalized so that they are just not broken outright. I think that's how Ghostbusters Beetlejuice kind of suffered a little, because Beetlejuice was on a cosmic scale and the Ghostbusters were not.
Yeah.
And the scenario just being a fight kind of broke that.
It definitely didn't
But,
help
like,
that I looked into every single cosmic entity the Ghostbusters had fought across like all of their stuff, and I could not find a single time
thoroughly
where
debunked all of them.
I think yeah, I helped Max out with one of his comment responses talking about like every single ghost thing, and I also made a comment myself that was just like, so here are all the really big ones. Any of them that you could potentially say are Beetlejuice level are the ones that the Ghostbusters had no chance against in like a straight up fight.
Yeah. Bro, Garbodor's good. What do you mean he smells? That's not nice.
No, I like Garbodor, but he does smell. His name literally has odor in
I
it.
love Garbodor.
I actually
I think
unironically
he's
do like Garbodor
overrated.
to an extent. I think for a garbage
Yeah, so
Pokemon,
do
he
I.
could look way worse, right?
Yeah, I like Trubbish as well. I've always just had a soft spot for that
Well, I mean,
evolutionary line.
Trubbish is medium popular. It does have a lot of supporters. Garbodor doesn't really.
Yeah, people find Trubbish cute, but they don't find Garbodor.
Oh yeah, here's my very oddly specific simile about his hair.
Yeah, and you just had to have fucking Wario. To be Wario, he does make any situation funnier. Like any single situation, Wario will
Yeah.
make it funnier.
I also want to.
I saw like someone.
Yeah. No, yeah, keep going.
I was saying someone edited Wario over the Cloud Strife face plan. It's so good.
Oh, man. But yeah, I do want to point out that a lot of the clips in your parts has like a very visible Crunchyroll thing in the top corner, which I find really
I
funny.
had to get footage wherever I could find it. Don't you have like all this stuff downloaded onto your hard drive? I had to find it all
Well,
on YouTube.
I did when I had the hard drive, but I do have all 4 seasons that are completed of Hiroaka on Blu-ray, as well as both movies. And at any point, I could get Huand to come over and we can record footage of any of the games, both of them, that matter. And for One Punch Man, I've got the whole first season, and the second season, I don't have physically, but it wasn't hard to find footage of. And of course, if I wanted to get footage of the game, wouldn't matter. Oh, yeah, the niche joke.
Yeah, I still don't understand.
Okay,
that
so
joke.
that comes from a YouTuber called TJ Omega who reviews Transformers toys, and one of my personal favorite reviews of his is the review of Supreme Class Cheetor from the Beast Machines toy line. It is a terrible figure, fucking atrocious, and one of the stupidest gimmicks it has is you press a button and it makes his brain flash for some reason. Like his brain just starts pulsating and flashing. And
and it's a reference to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why I added like the niche joke banner so that there was like a joke there for people who didn't get the reference. And the joke is that they didn't get the reference. Yeah.
I also think like Stain only being in 2 scenes made it really easy to find footage of him.
Yeah.
He just kind of had it all gift wrapped to us, especially since it was all pretty much on the official Crunchyroll YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I remember editing the eyes here for Saitama. That was.
Oh yeah, I love that little edit. I think Garou versus Stain, I'd say it probably is my favorite edited Galaxy Grudge match, just with all the little visual jokes you snuck in. Ruby versus Konosuba is yet to be completed at this point, so I don't know if that'll top it.
We'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah. I have enjoyed a lot of the ones in part 1, though. I think like your editing style really gives it a really unique feel compared to the rest of the debaters.
I'm very glad that you think that. Oh god, I
Yeah.
included
I love him jumping on his neck.
I like the fact like we are such dry people when it comes to our humor. So a lot of the humor comes from sarcastically imagining these stupid scenarios as a way to debunk the other person's stupid scenarios.
Yeah, like Stain wouldn't win if he just dreamed it up while he was in a coma.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The reason I actually had all of the season 2 scenes for One Punch Man was because of One Punch Man Abridged. Or just because that's the
It was
reason
the
why.
Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, did you
Joker versus
did you see that I put Garo's face onto Boris?
onto Boris getting sent back into the pillar. I just love all those little bits on you animated bits.
I did.
I love just the PNG
Monster card of
and the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I did make that as well.
It is very funny that you can just take out the out of context clip of you shouting "humongous cock." Like that's just amazing.
Oh no, you're going to get people to think that, oh man, this is a Biff Weed approved joke. I'm gonna just like do that and just upload it online as Nemesis says humongous cock.
Oh yeah, this is the. I think this is like the mic I had back then is slightly different to the one I use now, so you can hear like a slightly lower, like more compressed audio here, I guess. From Fall Guys Among Us on.
I couldn't increase the volume too much to like perfectly match mine, because the problem was that the audio would be very obviously like not right, and if I lowered my volume, that would also make it very clear that it was something recorded at a volume that didn't drop down. So that was a concern.
Yeah.
I probably should have normalized my audio a bit better, admittedly.
I don't think it's too big of an issue. Especially like, part 2, especially does not have that. Like it's not nearly as bad as the Stretch Royale, where you'll have to turn your volume up to hear me, and then you'll just lose your hearing the second someone else starts talking.
Fucking great. That was my first episode.
Yeah, that was part 1. So now we'll check out.
And there's
part
the two
2.
people who did a lot for the episode. This is the shortest part.
It's part 2. We just seamlessly transitioned into part 2.
Oh yeah, I remember this. It's you know what's coming up, right?
Which part is coming up, eh? Oh yeah! Oh my god! Garou. I hate it. I hate it so much. It looks so cringe. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Literally, all I did was put Garou's hair on stage, and it's so bad.
The avatars next to each other is just like it's so
Oh
jarring.
god! I remember how difficult it was to extend that yo for so long. I didn't do it.
I remember at first,
I did in one go, though.
When you showed like the work in progress, I think some people said like, "Oh, I can't hear the comment over the yo," which like I don't get how, because they even went back to it and says no, it wasn't even that bad. So I don't know what happened on the first go. But...
Yeah, that was weird, because like the yo is so quiet comparatively. It's basically just the backing music.
pretty much. Oh yeah, there's no backing music here, is there?
I think there is, but it's a lower volume than the yo. Oh no, there isn't.
Best genus is good.
Because I needed to include the bit at the end where I like ran out of breath and I was just like, oh god. Because I realized
I think
how
like
bad
breaking during the comments is the best thing we can do during them, just to like add some kind of comedic value to them.
I tried to add some comedy. I remember, speaking of comedic moment, when I was like, God, I'm sorry I took so long to edit this, and you basically said, editing a 45-minute video in 2 days is not like really long.
Yeah, it's really not. Like, I was shocked that you were able to do it that quick. You edited part 2 faster than I edited my sections for part 1.
Oh yeah, and
You
I
edited
added
your
that.
sentence for part one before I'd even recorded mine.
I mean, I got nothing better to do. I should. There was something I was going to point out about what just happened on screen, but I forgot,
Ooh.
and I don't remember
Yeah,
what it was.
I think this was the first episode where part one was actually made in advance, which has happened with a lot of episodes up until now, like Jimmy versus Haru, Ruby versus Konosuba, probably Fall Guys versus Among Us as well. Probably, I might be forgetting a few, but
Ruby
a
vs
lot of
Konosuba was done so far in advance that Volume 8 of Ruby could happen before it came out, which is why I say that Ruby never lost a fight, when technically now they have.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was originally meant to be episode 18, but then me and Brendan decided, right, we want to get Fall Guys Among Us out of the way first.
Yeah.
So we're going to push this aside. And then Adam wanted his first episode, so we had Luigi versus Danny. And then, well, episode 20 is kind of a milestone episode, so it had to be another Max Stucco episode.
Oh yeah, behold Albert Garou.
Oh my god! I've still tried to get Joseph to watch part two. He still hasn't. He still has not watched part two. He's seen part one back in like September, but he has still not seen that. He's seen up to this part.
Wow.
And that's. This is one of my favorite commentaries I've done.
I'll be honest, I'm still so bothered by the fact that I had something to say and I just completely forgot what it was. That's going to be nagging me the entire time.
You'll remember it eventually. Oh yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles line. Joseph said to me, "Yeah, no, I only sided with Garou so that you wouldn't be the one who gets to say that." Because I told we were getting lunch one day, and he just said that to me, and I decided, you know what? No, I'm putting that line in the Galaxy Grudge match. That's too good.
Oh right, what I wanted to say. So the scene where I show Saitama talking to like, Moomin Rider and Tank Top Master, you might notice there's a lot of bananas in that scene.
Oh yeah, you edited those in, didn't you?
That was from One Punch Man season 2, and I thought nobody would know it, so I just decided to use it just in case there's anybody who goes, "Oh, there's a few more bananas than I remember." I'll be honest.
I remember you also had like a Phoenix Wright clip thing.
Oh yeah,
like Phoenix Wright, like
that's
the UA
Hero Arco abridged.
Yeah,
I just put those in when I didn't feel like getting the actual footage because I knew exactly where the footage was in the abridges, but I didn't know because I had the seasons, like every episode in the season in a single video clip because that's how it came out of the disc, which was frustrating at points. Same with the scene with Present Mike, where he's talking in front of the blackboard. That scene doesn't exist. I made that scene myself.
So a lot more My Hero Academia abridged than I would have realized.
Yeah, which I mean,
but,
hey,
you know, at least it fits in here on like in the stretch where I am.
At least it fits here, and if you don't know it, you don't really get distracted by it. Because like if you notice there's more bananas than normal, it's just like, well, that's a bit weird, but it doesn't distract because that's just a reference. It's just that's more bananas than I remember. With the Present Mike one,
I look back at the screen and see Albert Garou.
It's because I kept it for the whole entirety of Joseph's comment.
And he'll never know that because he hasn't even seen up to the Albert Garou bit. He watched up to me breaking in Jeff Garou and then just stopped.
Oh yeah, this Uan's comment where I just cut off the bottom bit so I can include that later.
Oh yeah, Grottle took your wife, which is truly not happening.
Just no enthusiasm when I read that. But
I really want to get Huan back on the show eventually. But I think the fact that you and Huan do not have an episode together yet, we got to get you two on one.
Yeah. That'll be interesting because we'll be recording it. We'll be recording that with each other the whole time. So the audio will literally be the most matched it could be for any Galaxy Grudge match.
I remember Huan was originally on Ruby versus Konosuba, he was, I think, meant to be going for the killer tomatoes.
Yes.
But he kind of that idea kind of fell through,
Yeah.
which is a shame. But also kind of like I don't think if it was you and who end on an episode that Mage would have been able to say much, because you
Yeah.
two have like so much chemistry with each other. But like I do not think I've ever seen Mage and who end interact, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you and Mage interact before. Ruby versus Konosuba was put into production.
Yeah. Which is funny because it was a very fun production working with Mage. Mage is a lot of fun to work with. At least I had a lot of fun. Yeah. He still sometimes like just he still messages me sometimes like things completely unrelated to Ghost Grudge Match, and I think that's like a sign that it went well. If we're able to talk afterwards like just as friends, when beforehand we never would have talked to each other probably.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about like isekais in our DMs. Like I have no idea what he's saying, but I enjoy listening to it. I
Yep.
enjoy learning about
By the way,
series that I'm not
this moment means that Megumin's in both of my episodes so far.
Oh my god! And
I
Beerus
noticed.
versus Arceus is a bad matchup. That's false.
Shut up. Yeah, I think by
No, I
now
think
there's
that's true.
probably another character, another villain who could take out Base Garou at this point. But I also don't know where Base Garou's stats stand right now either.
Is that like the lady, whoever that's possessed or whatever by All for One?
I think I don't remember very well. Fucking
And then yeah, did it like in Dragon Ball?
poor All For
I cannot
One.
look at All for One the same way again anymore now that I've fucking kept pushing for the Annihilator as an opponent for both Death Battle and Multiverse match.
Yeah.
I keep pushing for it. Max and Duck will keep telling me no, but it'll happen one day. I swear to God, I will make them do it.
Unironically has a higher chance of becoming a not death battle than a multiverse match.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we've not been talking much about the episode outside of like just the visuals that come about.
Yeah,
every now and
welcome
again.
to how the writing call went down. I think there was a point where we went off track for like 2 hours and just talking about Death Battle.
There was legitimately one call, at least one call for just part 2 where we got nothing done. Nothing done.
Yeah. I think we. Oh yeah, the fucking Sully.
I don't think has Como ever commented on this moment, the whole "hate you forever" bit.
I don't think he has. I think he just found it funny.
That's very good.
But yeah, I remember Ribbit says that this has. I don't know if it's changed by now, but they said this had their favorite comment readings out of any episode, and like that was the one example they. That was like the big example that they brought up because like we banter in the middle of a comment reading.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happened in any other episode yet.
It is a very fitting thing for us to do, and of course, it's got to be the one where I call back to Diddy Kong versus.
Oh, yeah, this comment actually has one of my favorite moments in the episode. It's the fucking come one, and you just break for like 10 seconds. Oh my god, that might be my favorite bit of the episode. It's so good.
I remember that. That was a difficult one. I hope people don't think that I'm making fun of Combo's spelling. I just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, no, like Combo's fine with the jokes. He gets that they're jokes. He knows like the whole combo breaker curse thing. I actually don't think he's commented since the curse was broken. Actually, he just took his win and left. I don't think he commented on Fall Guys Among Us or Luigi Danny.
I can't blame him for that first one.
Fair enough, actually. I'm surprised Fall Guys vs. Among Us did not have the worst comment section I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I think this is the first time address the
Yeah.
combo. No, the Teacher Royale
Oh.
addresses the curse as well, where Max is like, he says, "Oh, get away from Dewey."
I always forget about superhero prostitute, but I never remember I never like understand how I forget it when it feels like something I wouldn't forget.
I think that this episode just has that many moments that stick with me that even a lot of the good ones
Yeah.
kind of end up falling into the background.
But part of that has to come from a lot of these jokes just sort of like happened. Like we would just record like, wouldn't it be funny if, and then it happened and it was like, you know what, that is funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah, you put the bottom on, yeah, we'll go fuck yours. Huntsman will still like DM me saying how he like flexes in your DMs every time you
He
throw,
does. No,
like a 5-star serve.
He does. And like I never do the same back. Like when I there's a character right that I wanted so much that I had saved up my ability to do big summons for like half a year waiting for her event, which is Oda Nobunaga, who's my favorite character aside from Gilgamesh in the franchise. And when I got her, instead of flexing it, I just went, "Oh, I got Nobu! I'm so happy, man! I hope you get her too." And like that has not changed
comes
anything.
back and says like he got 20 of them.
Oh yeah, there's the Phoenix Wright
right?
scene. No context, but I hope people just like accept it. I think this is also a clip from a bridge, but all it is just I think I just chose the different timing. Part of the reason as well I used a bridge is because the timing's a bit different to the original, so it's less likely to get hit by a copyright block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That does not look good out of context.
It does not.
I think like around this time, Galaxy Grudge matches, part twos had a really bad tendency to go on for like a whole fucking half hour to upwards of an hour, and I think that hampered a lot of episodes. Like not a whole lot, but episodes like I love Jimmy versus Haru maybe more than this, but I think part two does end up repeating a few points a lot because they went to include every single comment. But I think this and the Teacher Royale are able to get around that better since Teacher Royale has more hosts, which means different responses each time, and then us getting sick of the same responses in this episode also leads to a different response each time. Like we just get more and more tired of it.
It's also because like there was so many different things we could mock in the comments. That we
like Adam saying, "Oh, I don't think Stain's ever killed someone."
Like, you know, Stain, he's a famously law-abiding citizen. I also like how like he ends it with "There's less room for error for him than there is Stain." Like,
yeah,
it's you know,
I don't understand.
I think he. I want to imagine he just like didn't understand what that meant, or maybe he just mistyped it. I think what he means.
I think he might have just put the wrong name.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I am glad we did this one before part 2's got shortened, because I feel like this one would not be as good if it was shorter.
Yeah.
And I'd say the same for
like,
Teacher Royale as well. Teacher Royale would also not be as good if it was like much shorter.
Yeah, I think Battle Royales are still planned to be longer.
Yeah. Have we done a Battle Royale since then? Like,
Teacher Royale, no, since then there's been no Battle Royales. I think there are a couple more before the season's end, but cross those bridges when we get there. I don't know how those are going to be tackled.
With the iconic Stretch Royale too.
Yeah, of course. I still can't believe we've only done one Battle Royale in the entire show. It's crazy how that worked out.
Yeah, it's simply nuts. Oh, I am waiting for the shot put scene, because I remember
want to see my sick shot put skill.
That wasn't originally going to be there, but when I actually saw how the Olympic shot puts were done, I both thought, wow, that could be really funny, and I also thought, holy shit, these guys are fucking crazy strong.
Oh, I hate that this is the episode with the two people that have brought up Vor in Galaxy Crush.
Oh god, fucking pen vs pen. I think I went with the remaster pen vs pencil at least, so it could have been worse.
I like the implication that my first episode was Mortal Kombat versus Cuphead, and just ignore.
Also.
Oh my god! Like I think this is the first episode where we like actually lean into just bullying the stretch royale. I know Jimmy versus Haru also does it. Goku versus Superman probably does as well.
Oh my god! I remember this is where I read it.
How the fuck did you do that? I think if I tried to do that, I would have ended up taking me longer because I would have had to redo
in Ruby Abridged, I voice Oobleck, and he just talks at that speed, so I got used to it. I'm going to sub notes in this one and say Stain would have a much easier time becoming probably hero in the One Punch Man world than Garou is in the My Academia world. I do think eventually both characters become properly heroes eventually, but obviously the goal is to become properly hero first, and being how becoming a hero works at each universe, Stain would actually get a huge start and becoming a rising hero in the first place. So regular today, already this information for Garou to become a hero, we need to go through a long process of learning at UAI school in order to get through the mini-shows and final exams.
How are you not dead? Jesus Christ.
I know one comment was about the speed at which I read that. This is the way I attempted to add some personality to my readings, was to do something weird for them, and with
I
this
got stuck with Larry's fucking Bible in my last episode, so I do not feel bad about you having to deal with this one.
And
that's gonna be the new meme line now. Brandon's gonna remember that one.
Impossible.
And then, yeah,
that's gonna be like, I could see a lot more applications for that as a meme line than he's not gonna discipline Garou.
They're not gonna discipline Garou. I don't know. Not gonna discipline Garou's had quite a lot of application, like the fucking collab that we're doing on my channel. Sai somehow worked in. I can't discipline him. Instantly stop.
Yes, I remember that. I'm really happy I managed to read through that at like the speed most people would read through a regular length comment at this time.
I'm still amazed that you were able to. You had to slow down that a bit because you didn't know what the fuck he was even trying to say.
Yeah. You're great, Larry, but this comment, man, that was long, but I'm very glad you made it long so I could flex my ability to speak really fast.
When Larry gets his first Galaxy Grudge match, you should just leave a Bible in response and make it the best comment so he's obligated to pick it.
I mean, I know the matchup that's going to possibly be his first. I know both characters very well. I like both characters a lot.
How the fuck do you know... Well, I can't say the character, but how the fuck do you know that character?
At least I'm assuming it's the one that I'm thinking of.
It's in the Discord server. You can check.
I might actually be misremembering, but if it is the one I'm thinking of, I do know both characters very well. Otherwise, might not be. I don't know. I'll have to look.
It is not the one with. It is one with characters I have never once heard you even mention, and one of the characters I've never even heard.
Then yeah, probably not. Oh god.
Here we go.
I also like how oversized his head is. Like, I could have made his head proportionally sized, but I just didn't.
It's funnier that way.
I think if Larry comes out with an episode where I don't know either character, I might just like speed research everything I can just to dump a Bible.
You should do it. You should get your own back at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like a scene where you misspeak and say, no, the howitzer impact couldn't be more powerful than his regular attacks. That would be silly.
Oh, if I did, that's a problem. Obviously, the howitzer impact is above it because he specifically designed it to increase the oxygen around the area so that you would have more fuel to create a bigger explosion.
You literally just said wouldn't instead of would.
That's my bad.
Like, people would get what you're saying anyway, and just like a simple slip of the tongue.
Ironic, I do a slip of the tongue when I'm vouching for Stain. So, fun fact, I think this calc was done by Phantom Falcon, and I asked her for it, and I told her, the green tint.
Oh my god, the fucking band versus hell.
And-
Like, no one called us out on that. Somehow, when we were writing the episode, they didn't find out. Even after the episode came out, they didn't find out until.
Even when I
after.
added the green tint and I sent it to them, they didn't notice. It's great.
Oh my god. Even Fall Guys versus Among Us, there are still inside jokes that me and Brandon slipped into that one that Max and Ducko still don't know about. They still haven't picked up on that.
That's incredible.
Oh, you get it? Not gonna lie, Weege.
Can I even pull out my Stain voice this late at night?
I don't. Well,
Not
I mean,
gonna
early
lie,
in the morning.
Wiz. I could probably take that big centipede thing.
I don't know
That
why
was-
I expected you to put Nigel Farage instead of Thanos without telling you. But...
I did know about it at that point, and I was going to, but then I thought, you know what? That's probably what Biff wants. I'm not doing
It
that.
was what I wanted. I did it in the English accent in my first take, and then I'm like, nah, that's probably a bit cringe.
If you wanted an English accent, you should have just gotten Ribbit to say it.
Like, I think they would have happily done it. Like, they're a big fan of Nigel. Specifically, that one clip of Nigel where he's just like
Only thing I know.
tearing at someone. Sir, you have no legitimacy in this job at all.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think Garou has a chance at victory, and it's like, you're not wrong.
I mean, Stain also has a much easier process, a better personality, and more useful power. But I don't know. I think Garou might just have it.
No, but I just like the idea that like Garou has a chance at victory, as if like, yeah, no shit. Oh god, oh my Garou.
I love the fucking. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the word. Just suggesting that Garou would be able to psychic All Might, find out his secret, and then get him to train him.
This is putting All Might's face on Garou looks probably more cursed than Chizome Garou, I'll be honest.
It does. It looks so much more. His teeth extend off his face, man.
Admittedly, the fact that Garou's face is often shown in half shadow means the shadow part doesn't look too bad. Like that looks. Yeah, I can see that, but like the teeth and the fact that the face isn't angled correctly, it's like, you know what? Fuck it, it's funnier that way.
Makes it funnier. It is so much funnier that way.
I think, is this the one where your first response was, "You're right. This is not a
Oh,
scenario."
yeah,
Like,
this Stain does not win 100% of the time.
I like that. Like,
Yeah.
I like how. Oh yeah, enrollment. I still don't know what that was meant to mean. I like how
I still don't understand.
my first episode. Oh, the dark power.
Oh my god, that clip, that fucking Beyblade clip, I remember you put it in one of your videos. It's
The
so good.
Chrono Death Battle prediction, I think. A power stronger than the dark
yeah.
power. What is it? I love Tsubasa as a character, but he does have some pretty bad line reads in the dub, but I would not have it any other way.
I mean, it's an old anime dub. I don't doubt that the voice acting is going to get cringe at points.
I do love Ryuga's dub voice. It's like, you've reached the limits of your power. It's like, it sounds so sinister, but it manages to work even when he's like being heroic. Sort of like, I guess like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! In that original dub. But yeah.
I just remember that from Sai's Ryuga versus Tai Lung
Yeah.
trailer.
That I've watched that trailer a lot, so that's like the go-to Ryuga clip for me, aside from Dragon Emperor Life Destructor. But that's a very specific scene that like is not something I can like just say over and over to get into the voice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a Galaxy Grudge match going on right now, isn't there?
There is, yes, and I got distracted by Ryuga. Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, I love the line "class act Toshinori."
Class act, Toshinori.
No, yeah, there's me calling it. Well, you're siding with me, but you're giving them all the advantages. Whose side are you on?
Yeah, I was saying earlier, I do like that my first episode had to be with the only other person who's been on the show more than once and also is just as good at finding parts of comments to make fun of.
Yeah, I think the only other person who would openly bully the comments as much would be Brandon, probably.
Yeah. The only other...
Like, he's got the kind of same, like, dry sense of humor. I mean, Ducko's bullied comment readings before, I'm pretty sure.
But like not, I don't think the level we do in this one.
Probably not either. I love how after we recorded or after we wrote this episode, I realized during recording we got 2 more comments assuming it was a fight, and both of them sided with Stain, so Garou lost in a 1-4 split.
I'm just like, could you imagine if they actually had a fight and legitimately Stain won, and the reason is because he managed to somehow cut Garou and he licked it once, and then while Stain was lying on the floor, while Garou was lying on the floor, Stain just kept punching him until he just died.
Oh yeah, this live action bit of you walking out. Yeah, that sign to like, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling or something.
Yes, so that was for a video that I don't think we ever came out with me and Huan, where Huan points to the ceiling and he says, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. And you can't tell, but on the door is a sign that says, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. So on the ceiling, it says, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. On the door, it says, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. And this fucking
I like how in this one, we both have a moment where one of us starts reading a comment and then the other one has to finish it.
Yeah, it bookends very well.
Oh yeah, we just accused. Well, Max is a bit of a Shrek stan.
Yeah, Max does love Shrek so much. That's why the next multiverse match is obviously Shrek versus Sully. It's not actually what they announced.
I thought it was Shrek versus Han Solo. All right, yeah, sure. Can't be leaking it now. I can't. I am my first go at recording the Ducko voice.
Having a cursory knowledge of My Academia. You do have. I remember there's like you do have a cursory knowledge of Hiroaka, but not about the scenario apparently.
Yeah, just bully Ducko. Oh yeah, you can't believe it. I cannot fucking believe you put that fucking sound effect. Actually,
I had to try and find ways to make you laugh as well with like jokes that you didn't see coming.
Yeah. Oh my! I had no idea about the Bakugo never gonna give you up.
That was not even intended. I recorded that for a friend, and because she really likes Never Gonna Give You Up and Bakugo. And, you know, I've got a Bakugo impression that a lot of people really like, so I thought I'd do that for her. And I thought the only time that will ever appear on YouTube is that very single brief moment.
Oh, it's so good. I hope Ruby versus Konosuba gets a return. You know, I think it would fit right in. I think you could totally put it in without it being jarring.
I have considered there is one thing in what we've got as a script that I probably could fit it in that point. There are a lot of points where when I'm working on a script, I think, how can I edit this? How can I work on this? I guess that's just being a YouTuber that's as into it as me, I guess, in the sense that I've got nothing better to do with my life. Yeah. Oh.
The cringe scene with the cringe Mineta.
Yeah.
And the cringe. I like Kaminari, but this is not his finest moment.
I really like Kaminari. But yeah, he's got some bad moments. Though I do think like the perverted thing with him is done better because it's like it's just an aspect of his character that isn't wholly unrealistic, but it is a bit over exaggerated. But it's not to the point of like of Mendetta where it's his entire character.
Yeah. Garou the crank.
Krampus Garou.
That's just another example of us taking the comments completely literally.
I think that's just like
I actually watched the OVAs after this episode came out. I figured the OVAs, they're non-canon and they wouldn't have much to add. I wish I'd watched them beforehand. Then I could have brought up how good Garou is at video games. He's just so. I think he would have won, honestly, if we'd known that ahead of time.
he's a epic gamer, Garou. He would just appeal to all of the people who never leave their homes. He would, if you brought that up, he would have gotten the comment majority by far, because that's just our entire audience.
I mean, probably Among Us got the comment majority. I do not doubt for a second that Garou didn't Garou already have the comment majority?
Oh, he probably did. He probably did. Ironically, not the fight comment majority, but overall.
Yeah.
I do think like one of the biggest factors for Garou was his brute force, and that was one of the most obvious advantages I either had. Yeah.
It called back to the opening scenario there. I don't know why Brendan has found yet another line to attach to there. He just like says in the deep voice, "The hero hunter Garou and the hero killer Stain." I don't know why. I don't know why that's his new obsession.
Okay, I'm curious. How good is he at replicating my voice?
God knows, I've only heard him. Like I've only actually heard him do it a few times.
And the hero hunter Garou.
Well, he definitely does not get that deep with a voice. But...
Well, that's quite unfortunate indeed.
I realize now that could work for a Rao voice if I ever do like an animation with Rao. Then again, that is like Psy's character Psy like, so I might just not do that specifically to annoy him.
Oh, it's true. You should do Akuma versus Rao, but only voice Akuma.
I can do an Akuma voice too, though.
I am Akuma, and I will teach you the meaning of pain.
Get me to voice them both. Oh, yeah, Stendhal. Right, I cannot believe we didn't actually. I forgot about Stendhal until we were like 5 minutes away from finishing writing the script.
Yeah, just completely forgot that Stendhal was a thing. Because like Vigilantes just like never crosses my mind ever, aside from the character based on Booster Gold. Oh, you might not notice there, but I masked that transition in with All Might's cape.
Oh, I wasn't looking there for a moment, but
now you're looking.
Yeah, now I'm looking at Tario.
But yeah, because in the actual Hero Arc, the scene transitions with like All Might's cape going across the current screen, and then the other side of it is the All Might himself. So I masked it, I believe, in that scene so that it flowed better. Oh.
Oh my god, the Luigi. I thought this was funny at first, but then it turned into like in Ghostbusters versus Beetlejuice, we got a comment saying that Luigi would win, and then I was fully prepared for Jimmy versus Haru to get the same one, just because like the fan base can be that unfunny sometimes that something will be funny once and then we'll just latch to it.
that was fucking, I think.
Never gonna give you up.
Oh, the poll! I'm still so sad about the poll.
Like I call out the poll here, and then the next time I'm on Galaxy Grudge Match, it's gone.
Oh yeah. So I remember when I was recording, I checked the poll again, and Stain had gotten a few more votes to where I was no longer losing by just one. So I changed the take of the audio that I used, because originally I pointed out how I lost by 1 vote on both polls for my 1v1 episodes. That's the most interesting thing I can say about the poll in Galaxy Grudge Match.
The most interesting I had to say is that my episodes have gone from calling it out to just not.
I like what Luigi versus Danny did by saying how it was just fucking... Yeah, I wonder who's going to win a screaming match between me and you, I wonder.
I had to lower my volume quite a lot because when I really scream, I mean, I don't think I've like gone full hurt my throat from the volume scream on the mic before. So I've not screamed fully on mic before, fun fact.
Cuphead versus Mortal Kombat is there's a bit where I scream at one of the comments, and that is about as loud as I can get. Really,
I could go louder, but I find that if I go louder, there's no way for the mic to pick it all up. There just comes a point where I blow out the mic and it doesn't matter, even with the pop filter. So I just don't. So now when I hurt my throat, it's because of the voice I'm using. Like it was like not Boomstick, or it's All Might. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this conclusion goes on for a while. I'm pretty sure there's still like maybe 7-8 minutes of the video left.
Yeah, I mean this was quite close.
I still think this is at least in the top three closest episodes of the show.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about like it was not one of the hardest to decide though, because we had just talked about it so much from June leading up to the episode coming out in September that we kind of had everything figured out at that point except Stendhal.
Yeah, which came right at the end.
We were already leaning towards Stain.
Yeah, I think all Stendhal did was like just tip the scales enough for it to go supporting Stain instead of just moderately leaning.
Yeah. I remember liking how we end this, but that's still like a minute or two away.
Yeah. I appreciate we both went completely silent for this scene where Garou gets his ass kicked.
It's just a good scene. What do you want me to say?
I mean, it is. It's one of the better scenes of season 2.
I remember like Garou being stuck in UA for a couple months. So that was what was originally sticking to me as like, okay, this is probably going to be Garou's biggest hurdle. How do I overcome this?
Yeah.
And then I realized at the end of the episode, I just don't.
it is definitely the biggest problem. I think if they both like started from an equal place, Garou would probably win.
Won. Yeah.
I think it would still be relatively close if they started from a similar place, but it would be definitely more leaning Garou by a by a moderate amount. Not like a massive sweep, but a moderate amount.
It would probably be yet another 55-45 split, just not in his favor.
Yeah.
Not in Stain's favor.
Yeah, like I said, not in his favor when Garou was the subject.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
Oh yeah, I remember this bit here where you're about to go into all the advantages Garou had. I don't think that was in the original bit of the script when we wrote it. You added that in, I think, just to show how it was closer.
Yeah, because I felt like it made it, when we explained it, made it come off a bit too one-sided, and I want to bring up, he does have a lot of advantages, especially the thing about how, like, parents would probably quite like him because he's very, like, sociable with kids. And that is a big advantage he would have over Stain. Even if his hair is completely idiotic. Which does make me very happy that the main thing you added to your avatar is that hair. And one of the things I do to Garou is dunk on it.
I think this might be my favorite bit of the episode, actually. I knew from the start, no matter who loses, I want them to read out the Boros thing. And yeah. This was the project that I poured my heart into the most, and I think the ending reflects that. I'm still very happy with how this episode
I'm very
turned
happy
out.
with the overall project. Yeah.
I still think that this is probably in my top 5 favorite episodes. I think Teacher Royale's still obviously better. I find Chipmunks vs. Muse funnier. I think it's between this and Jimmy vs. Haruo for my top 3.
Look, it's Stretch Royale.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One thing I do wish, in retrospect, that we'd done with the end scenario, I think it would have been better if Garou had already become a hero. Like, not high enough ranking to win, obviously, but if he had become one of the heroes, and then God shows up to wipe them all out, and he realizes, oh fuck, I'm one of the people he's about to wipe out.
Oh man, that would have been better.
That would have made like the him fucking shitting himself in fear even more. Like, it would have been a better moment, I think. But in general, I'm still happy with this scenario for the most part.
Yeah.
I remember I wrote out the baseline, and then you just like helped adjust it to be like adjust the wording to be more engaging, I guess.
Yeah. I also remember I wanted to add a line of dialogue for my other character, and there was a point where things were leading Garou, and I was thinking, oh fuck, do I have to do Garou's dub voice? I was legitimately
Oh, man.
worried. It was like, I don't dislike the One Punch Man dub as much as you, but Garo's voice is atrocious. I despise it.
I don't hate the One Punch Man dub. I'm just not a fan of it. I guess it's just really not.
It's like out of the villains, I think Boris has a good dub voice, but then you compare that to Garou, and you go from what's like a deep voice to like I'm Garou.
Yeah, no, I remember that was one of the things you brought up to me during production, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I like to say, like, I remember we had you had this bit edited before part 2 even started production.
Yeah.
And I remember showing it to everyone, and they were really impressed by the editing, like with the bit where God's body falls over.
Oh yeah.
Is
that was quite difficult. Yeah.
Oh, there's my favorite scene in the show. I keep rewatching One Punch Man episode 9. It's one of my favorite episodes of any show, period.
I'm very glad Hiroaka had like a scene where the rain comes in, so I could actually transition between them to any degree.
Yeah.
Even though now the rain's no longer there, but yeah, fuck it. This is just.
Oh, here we go. We gotta have the Galaxy Initiative. Oh wait, that's not this bit. Oh, I keep forgetting this bit's in the scenario. I like that you added more to it at the end.
I felt like it was necessary to add something that would pertain specifically to the character who won, and in this case, I do
not
think,
like stretch, right?
Yeah, I do think the most logical conclusion that would be a result of Stendhal's success would be the ideal sustained spreading, which, despite the voice I used, is a good thing.
Oh, here we go. Is the Galaxy Initiative. Right, so I don't know if Max is okay with me saying this, and if he's not, he can just like cut this bit out. But people thought originally this was meant to set up for Bill Cipher versus Saitama.
Really?
I didn't understand. Yeah, people thought that. But what this was originally meant to set up for, and I think I can say this because the episode is pretty much cancelled now, was Saitama versus Squirrel Girl. And the scenario for that one was that Saitama and Squirrel Girl had to lose a fight in their own worlds. And Bill Cipher would be like the one making them do it. And that's what that was kind of setting up for. But now that episode's not happening, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta find
and this trailer's really good. I love this trailer. It's really well done.
Yeah. That episode there is probably the one where I put the most into my comment. Like,
probably.
In terms of like how much
and
I cared.
You put the most into the script as well.
Yeah, because like there was something, there was something related to Transformers, and I had to deal with that.
So thanks for watching. This was really fun to do. I still don't know how to do outros to stuff, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and our links to our channels and our social medias and stuff will be in the description. Nem, you got anything to add?
Yeah, basically just that. If you guys enjoyed, that's really all that matters. It was a lot of fun doing this as well. Yeah, thanks to Ducko and Max for letting us do this as well.
They have not supervised this at all, and that means we can say whatever we were able to say whatever we wanted.
I am saying that in the timeline where this is actually uploaded.
Don't worry, if it's not getting uploaded to their channel, it's getting uploaded to mine.
That is very good.
Or yours.
Oh my.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you later.
Have a good one.